Hello Ling. This is a video to show you how you can apply the multi-sub object material and the gmotor materials to your car. Okay, these are the parts from the FBX file that you have sent it to me. And when you open the material editor by pressing M like material on the keyboard, you get this one, or maybe the big one, this one, but we need to have this the compact material editor. So click on, if you get this big one, click on modes and select the compact material editor. That you get this window. So just select the material slot here. I take the first one and go to the material selection button here. Click it and you get this list, and here you choose the multi-sub object material. Say OK. You can leave it as it is now, it doesn't matter so much. Now you can see we have the default material is a multi-sub object. This is the main material, and here below you can see 10 sub materials. So we give it any name here, in this case, for example, Ford. And now select the first, I go back. As said, Ford now is the main material, the multi-sub object, and we use the first slot here for the WC car body material. So click on this button here to select the material again, and here enter the name WC car body, and again click on the material selection button here and select the gmotor material from the list. Now you can see this window, this rollout for the material changes, and now you can select, this is for the gmotor material, and you can now select the shader that you want to use here. I just take, yes, if you if you want to use the new the new materials, you can already here select the IBL car body shader, but as you can see here, you have to use 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 textures to be able to export that later. So I would recommend to simply use the T1 shader here, and so that you have to use only one texture. You can edit this material in the web-based material editor very easy later when you have this meshes in the game. Okay, now you can see the material that, yes, the materials that are the sub-materials have numbers here, ID numbers. And I would always recommend to enter the same name that you use for the material in this fields here, where that is for the name of material. It's the same like here, but so I copy it from here and paste it here. This is yes, it's good to have the same name in both fields. This one is for the material that get exported, but this one is for the internal material name, and this is good to know in some cases which material you work at the moment. Okay, now to get this material to these parts, if you want to have the same material for all these parts, just select all. You can see it here, 5 objects selected, and then click this button here, assign material to selection. Okay, now it is black because we have not we have no texture selected here, but now these parts have the material 1, because yes, this is currently the only material that we have here. If you have more materials here and you do this process, then you can, also to ensure that you get the correct material, you can select all again and then go to the modifier list and click material here. Now you can select every material that you want here. For example, if these parts shall have the material 4, what is not defined in the moment, you'd simply select 4 here and um, collapse the modifier. To collapse the modifier is always necessary to keep your setting, what you have taken here. Now you can, for example, see when you select a part and select a few polys, you can now see here material IDs, and you see it's number 4 like we have it assigned, and you can also see you have no name here. Okay, when we unselect material again, go to the object mode, select all again, select the modifier again, modifier list, and go again to material. This time we leave it at 1 and hit enter. Collapse that again. Select a part again and now you can see, now we have ID 1 here and also the name. That is what I mean. This name here is the name that is written here. So you can easily identify which material these polygons do have. Okay. Another thing that is very important for rF2 is, oh, I have only, okay, I have only selected the fender now, and I select all polys, and you can see here polygon smoothing groups. It is very important for the game that only one smoothing group is used. So yes, click the 1 and all these polys share the same smoothing group, but that can appear sometimes strange in the game, so you have to work at that, but that is something that I maybe can explain later, because it is a bit complicated. Okay. Yeah, what we have to do now here, also to as pre step for the mapping, we selected texture here, and I have taken this checkered texture, and it should be a DDS or a TGA file, DDS in the old formats. So, and when you are in the slot here where you uh, select the texture, I will reopen the editor. Okay. So again, this is our material WC car body, and we select that material. We have selected the shader, and here we select the texture. And when you select it, you can also copy the texture name here and paste it here. That is helpful when you map it, then you can select that to get it being displayed in the UV editor when you map the body here. And now you can see that the texture doesn't appear here. The car is still black. So click this button here. Sometimes you have to click 1 or 2 times, so until it appears here. Now you can see the texture is attached or assigned to the car, and you can yes, see it here. And normally you can export these parts already now, but I will show you shortly a quick with the UV map. I think I have said it in the other video already. Before you go to the UVW map, unwrap, ensure that no poly is selected in the object. So go to poly select, go to the polygon mode, and check that here 0 polygons are selected. If some are selected, like here for example, click on an empty space here to unselect them and collapse that modifier here. Okay, then you go to unwrap UVW, open the UV editor, and now you can select the texture here. You can see Ford test skin, that you see what you are doing here. If you, for example, load your skin here, then you can put the parts easier to the sections where you want to have them. It's a good help to see what you are doing here in the material editor. If you don't want to keep your changes, just click this button here to remove modifier from the stack. If you do that, nothing will will be kept. Okay, that is how you apply or assign a material to the objects, and how the structure must be. This is very important, that you use the main material as a multi-subobject, and the submaterials have to be gmotor materials. Okay, I hope that helps you a little bit again.